In the vibrant heart of West African city, where lived Amina, she's a woman of status, a lady whose beauty was matched only by the luxury she surrounded herself with. Her mansion was a testament to her success, adorned with fine art, dropped in the most exquisite textiles, and filled the priceless artifact passed down through generations. Mina was admired, envied, and respected, but there was one secret that she guided fiercely, one desire that even her wealth couldn't fulfill. That desire was for coffee, her houseboy. Coffee is a young, about 20 years, her junior. He had come from a small quitty village far from city. A humble and hard-working, he carried himself with quitty dignity that intrigued Amina from the moment she hired him. Every morning, Amina would watch as Coffee moved through her home with graceful precision, sweeping, tending, and fixing things with the skill of a man who took pride in even the simplest of tasks. His presence soothed her in ways she had not expected. Amina's admiration quickly grew into something more. She found herself captivated by Coffee's strong, silent demeanor, his muscles beauty, and his simple and pretentious nature, where most men in her cycle flaunted their wealth and power. Coffee's humility stood out like rare gem. He was everything that the wealth suitors she had no were not, and that only made her want him more. At first, Amina kept her feelings hidden, unsure of how to approach him. After all, they came from two different worlds. She was a woman of power, while he was a mere servant, but love knows no boundaries. Her desire to connect with him grew stronger by the day. She tried subtle ways to get his attention, dressing in elegant, flowing gown that accentuated her figure. Amina would glide into the room while he walked, hoping he would not see. But Coffee, ever professional, kept his distance. He greeted her politely, his eyes never lingering on her the way she wished they would, frustrated but determined. Amina decided to take a more direct approach. One evening, she invited Coffee to share a traditional meal with her, something she had personally cooked. It was a dish from her childhood, rich with spices and memories. As they sat together in her grand dining room, the air thick with the scent of the food and the low hum of distant city noise, she tried to open up to him. Coffee, she began softly. Do you ever think about where life could take you? Beyond this house? Beyond what you know? Coffee paused, unsure how to answer. He has noticed the shift in Amina's behavior, the way her gaze lingered on him, the way she spoke to him with a softness that made him uncomfortable and excited. all at once. He respected her deeply, but the gap between their words felt too wide, too impossible to cross. "I'm just happy to serve, madam," he replied, his voice stirred but reserved. Amina sighed inwardly. She could feel the wall between them, but she wasn't ready to give up. As the days passed, her friends began to notice her unsure interest in coffee. They gossiped and whispered behind her back, mocking her for paying attention to a man so far below her in status. One day, coffee overheard their clue, louder and mocking words. The shame and heart hit him hard. How could he possibly believe that someone like Amina could truly love him? Heartbroken, he began to distance himself, working hard and avoiding Amina's attempt to engage him. Amina noticed the shifty and felt the sting of rejection, but she didn't know how to bridge the growing gap. Finally, in the moment of vulnerability, she confronted him. "Coffee, I don't care about what people say. I don't care about wealth or status or what's expected of me. All I care about is how I feel, and I care about you." Coffee stood frozen, torn between his desire for her and the deep-rooted fear of crossing a line that couldn't uncross it. But as he looked in her eyes, he saw sincerity, a longing that mirrored his own hidden feelings. "I care about you too," he finally admitted, his voice barreled above whisper, "but I don't know how this can work." Amina smiled, taking a step closer. "Well, figure it out together." The path ahead wasn't clear, and the world around them would surely judge. But in that moment, they understood one thing: love didn't care about boundaries of class, wealth, or expectation. It only asked for a chance, and in that moment, they gave it one.